Hello, class. We're about to start lesson 3 from chapter 7. It's called Pythagorean relationships. Now, as you know, a right triangle has one right angle. The side directly across from the right angle, called the hypotenuse, is the longest side of the right triangle. The remaining sides, the line segments forming the right angle, are the legs of the triangle. So again, let's reiterate that. Wherever you see the 90-degree angle, which is here, this box here, directly across, is the hypotenuse. And that is always the longest side of a right triangle. And again, we're on page 392, just to let you know. Okay, so now, thousands of years ago, people found a special relationship called the Pythagorean relationship. Among the sides of a right triangle, you can use the relationship to find the measure of any side of a right triangle if the other two sides measures are known. Pythagorean relationship: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b are legs and c is the hypotenuse of a right triangle. In other words, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the two legs of the right triangle. Now we'll come to that with our next example. So we will go down here to practice 3. This is on page 393. So we could go over these examples. Okay, now it says A, the lengths of two sides of a right triangle are given. Find the length of the remaining side to the nearest 10th unit. You may use a calculator. So now we're going to get into using the calculator feature as well. Now I was going to do this off camera, but let me do this because we do have a few new students that need to know how to navigate to the calculator. Now as you see here, I'm on the email that I sent all of you that have the videos up into and including chapter 6. So what you would do is scroll down here to where it says calculator website, click on that link, and then this will pop up here. You will scroll down. Let's see where. You will scroll down until we get to, looks like they changed the site a little bit. Let me see. All right, let me go back up here. They did change the site a little bit. Let's see if I can find the calculator. Yes, it's right here. Okay, so we will click here. Yeah, they had a lot more ads on the page than what they normally would have. Okay, now you will click start and then start again. And then right up here, this is the calculator symbol. You will click that. And then here you will get this calculator. Now, in order to make this look a little better as far as us doing the work that we're going to do today, I'm going to shorten this a little bit. So let me move this over here. So now we could get started. So number 1, we have number 1. They have leg A is 8 inches. So A is 8 inches. And then they say leg B is 8 inches. And they want us to do the hypotenuse, C, which we don't know. So remember, the formula is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So A is 8, and that's squared. B is 8, and that's squared. And we don't know what C is. So 8 squared is 64, plus 8 squared is 64, equals C squared. 64 plus 64 is 128, which is equal to C squared. Now we will have to take the square root of both sides in order to get the square off of the C. Now these will simplify each other out and leave you C. So we have the square root of 128 is equal to C. But they want us to round this to the nearest decimal. So we need to make this into a decimal. So we'll pull up our calculator. Let me move this over just a tiny bit here. Okay, now we have our calculator. We want the square root of 128. So you'll press second, and then you hit this x squared key. You see how you got the square root? You would type in 128 and press enter. Now I gave you this radical here. So what you would do, you have to hit this double arrow key here, and now it'll give you the decimal. So we'll put the approximation symbols here, and we're asked to round to the nearest tenth. So it'd be 11.3. And technically it's 11.3 inches. So that will be our final answer, 11.3 inches. Now we can move on to problem number 2. It says the leg A is 9 yards, B is 12 yards, and C we don't know. So we'll start this off the same way we did the other problem. So we had A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So A is 9 squared plus B is 12, and that squared equals C squared. 9 squared is 81, 12 squared is 144, and it equals C squared. 81 plus 144 will give us 225 is equal to C squared. Now we would take the square root of both sides. The square root and the square would simplify out and leave us C. So now we will clear this out, press second, the x squared key, and then 225, and press enter. So that will give us 15. So this is an exact answer. So our answer here would be 15 yards. Okay, so now, we have 15 yards is equal to C, which is our hypotenuse. Now we move on to problem number 3. Problem 3, they have A is 1.5 centimeters, B is 2 centimeters, and C we don't know. So again, we have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is 1.5 squared, B is 2 squared, and we don't know what C is. So 1.5 squared, we could put this in our calculator, 1.5, and hit the x squared key and enter. That'll be 2.25 plus 2 squared is 4. 2.25 plus 4 is 6.25 equals C squared. We'll take the square root of both sides. And the square root and the square will simplify off. So now we'll take the square root. So we'll press second, the x squared. The square root is 6.25. Press enter, and that will give us 2.5. And this happens to be an exact answer as well, so we don't have to put the approximation, and that's actually centimeters, so it's 2.5 centimeters is equal to C. Okay, now problem number 4. Now problem number 4 is a little different because we don't know what side A is. We have what B is, which is 3 meters, and we have what C is, which is 6 meters. All right, so now we will still do our A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So A will remain the same, B is 3, and C is 6. So we have A squared plus 9 is equal to 36. We'll subtract 9 on both sides, and A squared is equal to A squared is equal to 27. So we'll take the square root of both sides. So the square root of the square root and the square will simplify out and leave A. And then we have to take the square root of 27. So we'll press second, x squared, 27. Press enter. Then you know it gave us this radical, so we'll hit this double arrow. And this will give us approximately 5.2 meters. Because we're supposed to round to the 10th place. Okay, now, I'm not going to do every single problem. So I did one with A being missing. And I'm going to do number 8 with B being missing. And then we'll be done with the top. All right. So now we'll go to number 8. I'll just move this over here. So with number 8, A is 15 inches. B we don't know. And C we have 30 inches. Okay, so now we have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is 15 squared plus B squared is equal to, it'd be 30 squared. So 15 squared will equal to 225 plus B squared equals 30 squared, which would be 900. We'll subtract 225 on both sides. And this will be B squared is equal to 675. We'll take the square root of both sides. The square root and square will simplify out, and we have B is equal to, we'll clear this out, second x squared, and then we'll press 675. Press enter, it gave us this radical. We'll press the double arrow button, and this will round out to be approximately 26.0, and that'll be inches. And the reason for that is we was rounding to the 10th place. This 8 means we have to round this 9 up to a 10, so that'll be 0, and then that 5 will become 6, so it's 26.0. And you need to write that to show that it was rounded. So that's basically it. The rest of the problems are basically the same, so we can move on to problem number 10. It says on a coordinate plane, points A, B, and C can be connected to form a right triangle. Now, it says, what is the distance? Well, let's look here. We can connect A to B, B to C, and then A to C, and that would give us a right triangle. Okay, now, it says, what is the distance from A to C to the nearest 10th of a unit? So from A to C would actually be your hypotenuse, because your right angle would be here at angle B. Okay, now, hint, count units to find the length of the sides. So side AB and side BC will be your side A and side B. So let's go here. So with number 10, we will have side AB, and then we will have side BC. So side AB, we will have, if you count it, starting here, side A, we got 1, 2, 3. We go down 3. So side AB would be 3. Side BC would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then last but not least, we're trying to find the distance from A to C. So it'd be side AC, which we would have a question mark by. So now, you know we have A squared plus B squared equals C squared. But we know our A would be this AB. Our B would be BC. And our C would be AC. So now we substitute. AB is 3. BC is 6. And we don't know what AC is. So we still will have AC squared. So this would be 9 plus 36 equals to AC parentheses squared. 9 plus 36 is 45 is equal to side AC squared. Now we would take the square root of both sides. The square root and the square will simplify off. And you add side AC, and we'll take the square root of 45. Let me pull that up. Clear that out. Second, x squared, square root of 45. And then we'll press the double arrow to get our decimal, so it'll be approximately 6.7. So that'll be B. All right, now number 11. The two shortest sides of a right triangle measure 18 feet and 24 feet. What is the measure in feet of the third side? So they want you to find the hypotenuse here. So we'll go here to problem number 11. So remember, the shorter two sides are A and B. It's C that's the longest side, which we don't know. So A could be 18 feet. B would be 24 feet. So we'll put it in the same formula, that A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is 18, B is 24, and C we don't know. So we can put that in our calculator. We could put in 18 squared. That gives us 324 plus 24 squared. That gives us 576 is equal to C squared. 324 plus 576 is 900 is equal to C squared. So we'll take the square root of both sides. The square root of 900 is exactly 30. And the square root and square will simplify out and leave you C. So our answer here would be 30. It'll actually be 30 feet. So I'll put 30 feet is equal to C. And then it'll be actually C from our answer choices. Now, number 12. It says Jan has built a rectangular frame out of wood to use for the bottom of a platform. He wants to add a diagonal brace as shown in the drawing below. Okay, what would the length of the brace be to the nearest tenth of a foot? Now, if you look here, if we take this part out here, this would just be a triangle. And these would be the smaller sides. This would be the 90-degree angle. These two would be the smaller sides, so we'll be finding hypotenuse. So, for number 12, we had A is 5, or 5 feet. B is 11 feet. And C we don't know. Okay? So we had A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is 5. B is 11. And C we don't know. So this would be 25 plus 121 equals C squared. So this would give us 146 equals C squared. We'll take the square root of both sides. So the square root and the square will go, and that leaves you C. So we'll take the square root of 146. So we'll take second x squared, and then 146, and press enter, and then hit the double arrow, and that'll be 12.1. So it'll be 12.1 feet. Now, according to this, 12.1 feet would be D. So that would be our final answer for number 12. Now for 13, it says the hypotenuse of a right triangle measures 39 inches. If one leg measures 15 inches, what is the measure of the other leg? So, if we look at this, we're given the hypotenuse in one leg. So 13. So we could say A is 15, B we don't know, and then C would be 39. And remember, these are inches. Now, as far as A and B, since they didn't designate which side was it, because it says one leg. So I could have put 15 in for B or A, but I just chose A here. No particular reason. So we have our formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is 15. We don't know what B is. And then C is 39. So 15 squared, we saw previously that was 225 plus B squared equals, now we have to do 39 squared. So we'll do 39 to the second power, and that gives us 1,521. Now we will subtract 225 on both sides, and we have B squared is equal to, so we have 1521 minus 225, and that gives us 1,296. So we'll take the square root of both sides, square root of B squared, the square root of 1296. The square root and square would simplify out. So now we have B is equal to, I'm going to put this right here in this calculator. So we'll press second, the x squared key, 1296. Press enter, and that's exactly 36. So this would be 36 inches. Now according to this here, 36 is A. So that would be your final answer for number 13. And we are done with lesson 3. So I will upload this to YouTube, and have a wonderful day.